Half-Shell Oyster House March features are here. Savor this season's features with our bacon-wrapped scallops and Parmesan-encrusted pompano. Settle in at the bar and catch all the March madness while snacking on our seasoned and seared scallops, wrapped in bacon and garnished with raspberry chipotle jam. For the main show, have our pompano coated in a seasoned Parmesan and Peco breading, then panade golden. Topped with royal red shrimp and garnished with citrus beurre blanc. If you manage to save room for dessert, try our red velvet cheesecake at Half-Shell Oyster House, located at 115 Laurel Park Cove, Suite 105, Flowood, Mississippi 39232. Or you can give us a call at 769-257-7586. And oh yeah, tell them Sonia sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia and welcome back to She Say Sports. I have back with me today Sports Writer of the Year of the New Orleans Advocate, Mr. Rod Walker. Hey Rod, how are you?
Going on, Sonia? You have to do all that Mr.
Oh,
stuff.
I'm gonna do it, boo. My brother is the Sports Writer of the Year, and I'm trying to go on that trip with you. I'm doing what I got to do to get what I need to get. No, I'm just kidding. How you doing today?
I'm good.
It's good. Well, I am still on cloud nine from that interview last week with Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. That's where I am right now. As I mentioned earlier, as I mentioned last week, we have a new segment called Legends of the SIP, and it will be hosted by me, Rod Walker, as well as Brian Wanky Adams. And what I love about this trio is the fact all of us is different stuff that we bring to the table. Rod is a sports writer, so he has a third eye with sports. You watching sports 24 hours, like all the time. So you see stuff that we don't see. Brian is an athlete, so he sees sports from that point of view, and I'm an avid fan, and I see it from a fan's point of view. So I'm so excited about this. What did you think about the show last week? And you couldn't come.
Yeah, I hate that. That's the first thing I was gonna say. I hate I wasn't able to attend because obviously, I mean, Mark Moo's a guy that, when you talk Mississippi basketball, he's going to always be the first person's name who comes up just because of, just what kind of a legend he was in high school and
right
at LSU, obviously, and even in the NBA. So just to see, him and just him why he was there in the first place. I mean, he was in Jackson, giving back to the kids, and he talked a lot about how much, even the city of Jackson meant to him. So definitely just good to see him giving back and being willing to, take some time out. Really good start to Legends of the SIP. I mean, it's gonna be hard to top now. I mean, you set the bar really, really high, and I don't know how you'll ever.
It's gonna be very hard. Now, I can say he is in my top 5 interviews that I've had, but the only 2 that could top his interview is Jane Kennedy and Michael Jordan. That's it. And they are on my list. I'm praying. I pray I get one of them very soon.
Yeah.
But
I used to do a segment when I was working in Jackson called Rewind Wednesday, and I would get all these former athletes. It's sort of like what Legends of the SIP is, except it was just me writing. It wasn't an actual video, but Mark Moo was always the one I wanted to get. I can never get him. So props to you and Brian. Props to you and Brian for getting him, because I tried for years. I knew he was going to be that one guy. I was able to get Marcus Dupree, a football player, but but Mark Moo was the guy I really wanted to get and just never could. So props to y'all for that.
It was such an honor to speak with him. He is very pleasant, very personable, and fun. Before the show, we chopped it up a little bit, but he is really, really cool. So I enjoyed the interview. I'm probably going to show that one again, because that was that was special to me. That really, really was. Yeah. But we're want to talk some sports. It's a lot of stuff going on in football and basketball, but we're going to start with football today. After 14 seasons with the Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan was traded to the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for a 2022 third-round pick. And the Falcons, they were pretty swift on this move, agreeing to a 2-year deal with quarterback Marcus Mariota. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Mariota. And his deal is worth $18.75 million for 2 years. What are your thoughts on this trade and Mariota as quarterback for the Falcons? Is this a good fit for them?
Well, I think first of all, I don't think any of us saw Matt Ryan going elsewhere. If you had asked me that 2 weeks ago, but then they went after DeShaun Watson, who them and a lot of other, well, not a lot, but some other teams went after DeShaun Watson, and it's sort of like when they went after DeShaun, I think these quarterbacks who were there felt like maybe I'm not good enough for this team, and so they made these moves, and the Falcons ended up sending Matt Ryan to Indianapolis, and I think that's a good fit for Matt Ryan. First of all, I think he's a guy that's, he's obviously up there in age, but this is a guy that won MVP a few years back, and he got the Falcons to the Super Bowl, and the Colts have like really struggled trying to find a quarterback. I think this is their 7th or 8th starting quarterback. 7 or 8 years in a row they started the season with a.
Well, no, Peyton been gone more than 7 years.
I think he might be in that list, but if you look at whoever started for them on opening day, I think Peyton was one of them. But they've just had quarterback. They just haven't had any stability at that position. So they're hoping that he can bring them some stability. As far as Marcus Mariota, man, I don't know if he's I don't know if he's the answer, because he hadn't really shown a whole lot. But he's a guy that the Falcons, they've lost a lot, and he's a guy that's they're gonna have to put some pieces around him, definitely. And
didn't he? Now Smith is their coach, right? Coach Smith.
Yeah.
Is it Smith now? Him. I believe Mariota played for Smith
in Tennessee. Yeah, they were together in Tennessee.
Yeah, so they have some chemistry and connection there. So I think he knows him. We'll see what happens with that. It'll be interesting. Hopefully, the Falcons will come out of their slump. It's just ever since that loss to Tampa Bay, they hadn't been right since. It's weird, but they haven't. So hopefully things will work out for them. Speaking of the Patriots, Tom Brady, after 40 days in retirement, came out of retirement. I called it. I knew he was not going to do it. I didn't realize it was going to be 40 days. Do you think Giselle got tired of him? What's going on? But GOATs come out of retirement. Michael Jordan did it. Who else did it? It's a lot of them.
Yeah, these guys have been playing ball their whole lives, and it's hard for them to let it go. And you look at
40 days.
Yeah, Brady came off of a really good season. He had an MVP caliber season. He didn't win it, obviously, but he had a really good season, and it was kind of weird, looking at his tweet when he was coming back. The hashtag at the end, he said "unfinished business," and I'm like, "Come on, dude, you've done pretty much all you could do. You got 7 Super Bowls and 3 MVPs. Like, what is unfinished?" But that just tells you how competitive he is.
He's so competitive, and it's just like, as a like you said, and you were an athlete, but did you, when you finally hang up your cleats as a baseball player?
So don't compare me and Tom Brady's competitive drive, because it's not the same at all.
I thought all athletes go through that. So I'm not trying.
Let me clarify this, everybody. I just played high school baseball, and I was just average at best. So don't go Googling me seeing if I almost got drafted, because I didn't.
So when you hung up your cleats, it was whatever. You didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't miss it. There were some times I regret. I regret I wasn't, more dedicated in high school, because I feel like I probably could have been better than I was. But for the most part, for me, to me, the drive that people like Tom Brady and Michael Jordan have, it's just something that most of us can't even comprehend.
We can't even comprehend it.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Do you think he has one more in him, though?
I think. He had a really good season. They just, they came up short, but he put up some really good numbers, and I think he knows his limitations. Compared to somebody like Drew Brees at the end of his career, we could sort of see that he had definitely fallen off. His arm just wasn't what it used to be. But with Brady, he's 45 now, I think, and what he's doing is it's pretty phenomenal that at that age to still be going, and guys like that, and even look at LeBron, who's what 37, 38, to still be doing what they're doing at that age is pretty incredible. And they have this way of taking care of their bodies, and that most athletes don't have, and they're just so dedicated to it, you know,
And
year
speaking of
round.
that, Giselle, she has a new recipe book coming out of food that Tom eats. So we'll see what type of food he eats. And a lot of athletes are probably going to start following this regimen, just to kind of help with their ability to play better. So you think that'll be a big seller?
Oh yeah, I think definitely it'll be something that everybody will be, jumping on, you know, trying to do what he did. And again,
Yeah.
I don't know if I think for him it's probably more than just what he's eating, but obviously that helps. But there's just a attention to detail about every little thing they put in their body that's probably different than most people. I mean, these guys aren't taking, they're not splurging on sweets in the summer when the season's over. They're pretty much dedicated year round, I think.
Yeah, the fueling is important. And even um Brian mentioned last week, Mahmoud, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, and he's 53. And the way he still is playing and he plays in the big three, that says a lot. It's the fueling of the food and how we treat our bodies. So I'm not gonna eat that cupcake today. Thanks, Rod. I'm trying. Um, the man of the hour, though, DeShaun Watson. Everybody's been after him. I don't know if you saw the meme this week, but you remember the episode of Different World when
Oh, the wedding
uh,
me. Yeah.
Dwayne came in the wedding. Well, they had who was it?
The Saints,
Atlanta, the
and
Saints,
then yeah,
and Atlanta as the husband. They got it, the groom, and then they had Cleveland as
Cleveland.
Dwayne, and of course he chose Cleveland. Um, Watson has signed a $230 million deal with the Cleveland Browns. He has been courted by several teams in the last couple of weeks, as we mentioned, the Saints, Falcons, Steelers, and the Browns, of course. How great of a fit will the Browns be for Watson? Really, he was a good fit for really all of them.
Yeah, wherever he go, I think they're gonna be a good team. I think the Browns is a team that, they have some weapons and they have a good defense, have a good running game. You look at that division now with him and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, and
Oh boy.
I'm gonna throw Mitch Trubisky in there just for your sake, so you can laugh. But they're gonna be a team that's gonna be, in the hunt for sure. And you look at the AFC, they've gotten just so much better this offseason. I think every team in the AFC got better. You look at,
They
I
did.
mean, Denver added Russell Wilson, so now all of a sudden, and Denver had a good defense, and they're a good team. So you got a lot of good teams in the AFC, and it's going to be really tough to navigate your way through that and get to the Super Bowl. You have a really good team, and you might not even make the playoffs. That's how good the AFC is now.
It's gonna be really, really cool. I'm excited for Deshaun, especially everything that he's gone through in the last year. Um, I'm glad that they did not allow that to deter them from hiring him, So um, he's a great player. So I'm hoping everything works out for him. And sir, um, just be safe. That's all I can say. Leave it
Yeah,
at that.
but
Just
here
be
in New
safe.
Orleans, I mean, I covered the Saints obviously, and the Saints really thought they had a good chance of getting him. And if they had got him, I mean, the Saints were, you put them in that Super Bowl conversation. I mean, that's how good Deshaun is. He was going to
Yeah.
change whatever franchise he went to. He was going to change it. I mean, I think Atlanta, they still have some pieces that were missing, but he was going to make whoever better. And I think the Saints fans, because at the end, we all thought it was New Orleans or the Falcons. So I
Hmm.
think the Saints fans, when they didn't get him, there was some relief that, well, at least the Falcons didn't get him, because those two teams in the same division, and
Right. And they
you don't
hated
want to have
him.
to face you don't want to have to face him twice a year and Tom Brady twice a year. So it kind of worked out good for the Saints that
Hmm.
even though they wanted him, they didn't get him, and he's in the other conference, so that worked out.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And it's been a rumor going around. I heard earlier this morning. Actually, I heard it on the Ricky Smiley show. They talk sports too. Kaepernick. There's been some calls for. Is that true? Is that true?
I don't know if there have been any calls, but I know he's been doing these workouts in different cities. So he was
Hmm.
actually in New Orleans on Monday morning. It was kind of low key. He sent out a tweet Sunday night saying, I'll be in New Orleans doing a workout. So one of the PR guys, he reached out to me and told me where the workout was. They were trying to keep it really private because they didn't want people just showing up. But
Right.
it was at a high school near where I live. It was at Edna Carr High School here on the West Bank, and I got a chance to go out there and watch him. He didn't do any interviews, so we didn't get a chance to like get a feel of what how bad he really wants to play and all that. But I mean,
It looks good.
he looks really good. He's I guess I'd never seen him in person, I guess, but I didn't realize. I mean, he's 6'4", but I mean, he looks he looks 6'4". I mean, he's just a big guy that he can still throw. And obviously, I mean, you're watching him just him and a receiver, so there's nobody rushing, no tackling, but he has an arm, a really good arm. I mean, he can still throw it, he can sling it, and he's a guy that I feel like he's better than some guys that are getting these opportunities. And obviously, he's been out of the league. 2016 was the last time he played, so that's a long time to be out of the NFL. But I think his whole point of these workouts, because he's doing one in Seattle, I think one day soon. But I think his whole point is just to let people know that he's doing his part. He's doing his part. He's working out, and he's kind of putting it on the owners. Like, look, I'm here, and y'all still aren't giving me a chance. And I don't think anybody's gonna ever give him a chance. So I just think the owners have kind of made that decision that we're not. They don't want the quote unquote attention that comes with it. So no matter how good he is and how far he can throw it, I just don't think owners are going to give him a shot. And, that's too bad for them. And I mean, it just kind of shows you what the league is about when it comes to how strongly they feel about the flag and the anthem, and they just don't want to deal with it, which is unfortunate.
So they would rather, and he's been cleared of everything. So, but I'm still going to use this as an example, as well as Ben. They can get accused of rape and get to play, but if you kneel against the flag,
Rape,
you are barred forever. And maybe
rape.
because he sued the NFL, but it's just like, that's so backwards to me.
Rape, domestic violence,
Get to play.
anything else you want to think of, but anything else you want to think of, but yeah, they're just it's
Interesting.
It's crazy. I mean, I can't even comprehend it because but
It's crazy.
they'll never say it publicly, but I think the owners are probably they've talked and said, look, we're not doing it. Nobody's gonna budge on this, and and that's why I'm glad that Kaepernick is at least continuing to like show that he can do it, and just letting people know that, hey, I can do this, and the owners aren't giving me a shot. And even if he's not a starter, I mean, he's definitely good enough to be somebody's backup.
Absolutely.
And again, I mean, he hadn't played in 5 years, so I get it. The further he gets away from his last time playing, the more people say, he hadn't played in however long. But I think he deserves a shot just based on what I saw the other day.
I do too. I agree. Wow. Well, I wish him the best. I really, really do. And if he never gets to play football in the NFL again, he is still an amazing guy. And I mean,
yeah. I mean, everything he did, yeah, it's bigger than football. What he's, his legacy will be all about. Yeah, it won't be about football. It'll be things he did, for his people. So I mean, you have to come in for that, and that's way more important than football. And there are gonna be some people 20, 30 years from now, they're gonna realize that they were on the wrong side of history when they blackballed him like this, and
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
They did it with Muhammad Ali. I mean, there are people who they praise Muhammad Ali, but back during his time, like they were all against him, just like they are against Kaepernick. So, it takes years sometimes for people to realize that, dang, I was wrong about this.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Oh well. Well, let's switch to basketball. Delonte West, as you know, he's had some issues, mental and drug addiction. And Mark Cuban, which is my former boss, well, I say former because I haven't sang for the Mavericks since COVID. So they hadn't called me, so I guess I'm former now. So my former boss, Mark Cuban, put him in a rehab, as well as reuniting him with his mother. Delonte has been doing great. From my understanding, he got in trouble with a police not too long ago, but he's been working at the rehab that actually helped him. So he's doing well. It's being reported that Ice Cube is giving him an opportunity to play for the big league. What are your thoughts on that? And how do you think he's ready for that?
Um, I would say, I mean, I'm all for second chances. I think most people are, and if this is what it's going to take to just get him back on track, I'm all for it. I think the big three is like, I mean, if an NBA team was giving him a shot, I'd be like, we might be kind of pushing it here. But I think the
Too
big
much.
three,
Hmm.
that's probably like the perfect type of league for him to, try to play in if that's what he wants to do. And
Right. I agree. I remember him playing for the Mavs, and he always kind of looks just like he's in his own little world, look kind of sad or whatever. And I used to be like, why he looks so sad? But you never know what a person is going through. And at that time we did not know he was dealing with mental illness and or drug addiction. So I wish him well. I really hope this is great for him and he gets back on track and just really see his value. You're still a very valuable person, regardless being an NBA or whatever. We don't know the issues why he's dealing with what he's dealing with, but I pray, I pray all is well with him and things work out for him.
yeah, you got to come in Cuban for helping get him back on track. So
Yeah, he is probably one of the best. Well, he is definitely one of the best owners in the NBA, probably in all sports. He is really about the people, always has been. And that's one reason why I loved um, singing for the Mavericks, and because he just made it fun. So I really commend him on what he does for people outside of basketball. Yeah. Um, Brittany Griner, American basketball player who's been playing overseas in Russia. Um, got in trouble a few months ago. Was it marijuana? Was it weed? Or
it was.
it was some
I've
type
never
of,
tried any of this stuff, so I don't really know what it was. But it was like some hash oil or something that goes into the vaping cartridges. But I think it's something
okay.
similar
Mhm.
to. I mean, it wasn't like she had actual blunts or anything. But yeah.
Yeah, well, she got caught, and that is illegal in that country, and they have imprisoned her for the last couple of months. And we're seeing very little coverage in America on Brittany Griner while she's over there, and Russia is caught. They're in a war with Ukraine. What are your thoughts on this? Why aren't we getting a lot of coverage on this? And do you think Russia is probably using her later on for some type of
Political.
what leverage of some sort with Biden if something happens? But they're not even talking about her, so they may not even care.
Yeah, well, I know today that she did have she met with a U.S. official earlier
Just
today.
today?
Just today, yeah. And they did say that she was quote unquote okay, which was positive, I guess, at least that. But I mean, they extended her trial to May, and the way the laws in Russia are set up, if you're prosecuting, you can give the prosecution up to a year, so they can push this thing back as long as they want to. In extreme cases, they can push it back to 18 months. So,
Wow.
she's basically, I guess, at the mercy of what they decide to do. But fortunately, I don't think it's gotten too political yet. But depending on how this war goes, I mean, they have her in custody, so they could definitely do whatever they want to do. And I think that's a big reason that you haven't seen as much publicity about it, because I think people are afraid if it gets too big, then Russia will, you know, really use it as a
Oh,
political.
probably use. I see. That makes sense. Okay. Well, that
So
makes
it's
me
probably
feel
it might be better for her that it's not being talked about as much, because
right.
then it'll be like, oh, okay, well,
Well,
so
they're not going to see this show, so um,
right.
she's she's good. Uh, I've been praying for her, and it's sad that our women still have to go play overseas to make money. She's in the WNBA.
Right.
WNBA has been established since 1996, and they still don't make enough money. I think she's making over $1 million over there in Russia, and that's really unfortunate that you know I can't even imagine going to jail, but going to jail in another country and it's
Right.
Russia, I will be like Paul and Silas in the Bible, uh, and at midnight, because I'm gonna be praying and singing the entire time. So that's crazy. I wish her well. Last but certainly not least, let's give it up for them Lady Tigers and my soror coach Tamika Reed. When I say they did the doggone thing on Saturday against LSU and Kim Mulkey, even though we lost, and nobody's even really tripping about the loss, it's what they did. They had them on the ropes. 10 points. They were down 10 points. LSU was down 10 points the last 5 minutes of the game. And Rod, just from your point of view, what happened? What happened in the last 5 minutes?
I thought Jackson State, I mean, they had a couple, I don't know, I don't have the numbers with me, but they had some free throws that they missed. And I was like, man, if they just make that one, I think, was it that minute? I say, yeah, I mean, I just think they could have, man, they just didn't, nothing went
They
their way
gave the
down.
ball away, I think, twice. They had a 24-second shot clock against them. It was just like everything, it was just like it just unraveled.
Right. And I mean, it takes time sometimes, to make those steps, because they would have been the first SWAC team to win a NCAA tournament game. So I mean, it takes some time to, get over that hump. But I mean, this team was, they had LSU, yeah, like you said, on the ropes, and I really thought they were going to finish them off, and it would have been like the most talked about story of the women's tournament. And
It's being talked about still
talking about it.
And they didn't even win. That's why I'm getting chills, because it was just like, you played against Kim Mulkey with Baylor last year. Totally different team. We lost probably about 30, 40 points. I can't remember, but it was a huge margin.
Right.
Huge margin. I already felt like, and I even said it on the show last week, I didn't think we had an opportunity to win. I said, I think we really can win this game, but if not, it won't be a huge margin. Yeah. And it definitely was not. What are your thoughts on what Kim Mulkey told Tamika, Coach Reed? I'm sorry, Coach Mulkey and Coach Reed. Let me give you their respect.
I think, and I'm not sure which part you're talking about, but
when she told her, the way you guys, I'm paraphrasing, played, you won't be at Jackson State long if they don't pay you.
Yeah, I think personally, I thought Mulkey was trying to give her a compliment.
That's what I thought too, but a lot of people got upset and angry about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that would be like when I just use myself for an example. I worked at a weekly newspaper in Madison County when I first started. People saw my work and it's like, you're probably not going to be here long. You'll be the Clarion Ledger. So, and I don't think that's really an insult towards the paper I was working at. I just think, there are some, you look at some schools as quote unquote Power 5 schools and the bigger schools, and you just can sort of think that that's sort of the natural progression of how coaches climb the quote unquote ladder. And that's just sort of, so I don't think she meant it in the way some people took it, but I also understand how some people took it. I mean, I see both sides of it, but personally, again, I wouldn't be offended if somebody told me, yeah, Rod, you're not gonna be at the Times Picayune long, you'll be at ESPN one day. Like, I'd take that as an ultimate compliment. So but I sort of get it.
Is it always about money when you're trying to build a legacy and break down barriers? She's trying for HBCUs, and that's what she pretty much said in her interview.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I don't, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, I don't think it's about money. And I think but I do think Mulkey is right that there are going to be some schools with bigger budgets that are probably going to throw some more money at her that maybe more than Jackson State is willing to, pay. So she has to, Tamika will have to decide if she wants to sort of build this program that she's been talking about and knock those walls down, or, you also have to think about your future. I mean, it shouldn't be about money, but money does.
Yeah,
does change your perspective on things. And the same thing with Deion. I mean, we talk about, people think, they think Deion will maybe one day vault for a bigger school, but I don't know. You just have to, judge anybody for what they decide to do. To me, it's your career, your life. You have to make the
Absolutely.
best decisions for you and your family, or the best decision on what you want your legacy to be. If you want your legacy to be to build this program up, that's what you should do. If you want to go for bigger money and secure your future for your family even more, go for it. I mean, I don't. So to me, whatever she does, if she ever gets those opportunities, that's on her.
Absolutely. I wish, I want, of course, I don't want her to leave Jackson State right now because we're on the brink of something. However, if she does decide, like you say, I get it. I understand it. We will miss her. It's been amazing these last few seasons she's been with us. I can't see her, especially with Dion's daughter coming. Not saying that's a breaker for her, but that young lady and other young ladies are coming, because of her. So I don't know. Again, I mean, next week she could be gone somewhere. I don't know, but I'm saying I can't see her doing that right now. I just can't, because she's on the brink of something. And
She's really, I mean, the job she's done is just been, I mean, she has got that program to a level, and they're like right there. She said knocking on the walls. I mean, they are right at the
they
wall.
knocking, I'm talking about,
Yeah.
do you understand? If we had won that game, we would have been the first out of, I think, 111 11
13, whatever seed they were, right?
yeah, 111 13 seed
Yeah.
that beat that game. And
When they
that
went up,
was,
when they went up 10 Saturday, I had my tweet ready. I had my Facebook
oh, you
post
was
ready.
ready.
It had 111. I remember that number when you said it. I was like,
Because I had mine ready too. I had typed mine. I was like, we
yeah.
are the first. I had already typed it. I was ready. And when it spiraled down, I was like, what the freak is going on? It's just like, I think when they start making those mistakes, they got in their head. They got in their own head. And I was like, y'all, come on. But
they were a 13 seed, but Jackson State was better than like they shouldn't have been a 13 seed. They should have been this is a team that was good enough to be 10, 11, maybe 12 seed. But I mean, the SWAC is always gonna get, and actually I guess 13 is better than what they normally get, but this is a team that probably should have been better than that. And next year, if they get in or they run the table through the SWAC, I don't think they'll put Jackson State as a 13 seed. I think they know that, they'll get a better seed, I would think, next year. And that's part of knocking those walls down is,
that's a part of it. You're right. And it's amazing how, and people can't deny, but Jackson State has been in everybody's mouth for the last over a year now. And it's just like things are happening. And I know it's just, if we just hold on, because this is huge.
It's right there.
It's right there. It's right there. So I'm excited. Congratulations, Coach Reed. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your girls, some of the young ladies. I know Misha, she definitely going to the WNBA for sure. I can't see her not going. She has been an amazing player. I didn't even realize she had got married. So she got married in between last year and this year. I was like, what?
Yeah, they kept saying what, Williams Holiday or whatever. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. So I was like, okay. So that's awesome. So congratulations on her nuptials. And before I let you go, we got to play the game. You can get with this or you can get with that. Every time, buddy. What that is a way for the listeners and myself to get to know the guests better. I'll ask you a few questions and you choose the one that best fits you. Ready?
I'm ready.
You prefer football or basketball?
Basketball.
Really?
Sure. Yeah.
I thought you was gonna say football.
Yeah, I prefer basketball.
Okay.
Like the NBA playoffs are my favorite. Some people love March Madness. Some people like the NFL playoffs, but the NBA playoffs is always my favorite time of the year. I would sit at home and watch every game, every round. Yeah.
I love it. I agree. That's my favorite sport, but because it's, it's not the same anymore. I've geared a little bit more towards football, but I'm still a basketball girl for sure. What's your favorite basketball team?
I don't really have a favorite team. Growing up, I was a 76ers fan because I was a big Dr. J fan.
Mhm.
Then when I guess I just had players that I really liked because then I kind
Okay.
of navigated toward, Jordan and Pippen and, you know,
Who's your favorite player now? Please don't say LeBron.
I won't say that. I don't know if he's my favorite, but he's up there. Him, Kyrie Irving, I really like him.
I like
Uh,
that.
and I like Chris Paul a lot.
Hmm. I
Um,
really wanted him to win a ring last season. I really did.
those are probably my favorite three, I would think off the top of my head. Yeah.
Okay. You prefer a nice car or nice home interior?
A nice car or a nice home interior.
Hmm.
I'm kind of indifferent on that one. I've never been like a big car guy. I drive my little Ford and I'm gonna drive my car until the until the wheels fall off of it.
So we'll just say nice home interior.
Okay, that works. Sorry.
Which is worse for you, doing laundry or doing dishes?
Dishes for sure.
I hate doing, oh my gosh.
And I have a dishwasher and I don't even use it and I don't have a reason not to use it.
Because
But
we're old school. We
right, I
old
think that's what it
school.
is. Yeah, I just never use one. And
I probably use it maybe 5, 6 times a year, but I always wash my dishes. And as a matter of fact, when we finish the show, I'm putting those dishes in the dishwasher today. I'm doing it. I'm sick of it. I don't know why I don't use it.
yeah, there's like no, I'm just sitting there like there's really no reason not to use it, but I just prefer washing it. Sometimes I might let them sit there overnight, and I know that's not good, but I'll
Mhm.
do it. I know some people that they don't even believe in letting dishes stay
Right,
overnight.
right. I understand. Do you prefer a hamburger or a taco?
Oh, well, I would say hamburger, but I have sort of tried to kind of get away from eating red meat so much. So
Mhm.
I guess I'd probably say taco now. But I mean, if you give me a good burger, that's gonna be my choice.
Right. Or you can get turkey burger.
Yeah, I haven't really got into turkey burgers or veggie burgers. Like I haven't really got into those
No,
yet.
but when you come home, you have go to Sam's. You got to get the portobello burger. Wanky got it last week. I went and got it for him
And
when
stamps.
mm-hmm.
If I go to stamps, I'm getting a stamp. I'm getting a regular stamps burger. I'm not.
You got to try the
No,
portobello.
no,
It's
no, no,
Wanky was like, I think I may start eating those. It was so they're really really good. They're
no.
good.
No, if I go to stamps, I gotta go to stamps. I can't. I'm not messing around over there now. And yeah, I want all the grease. I want all of
Yes. Mm, I want one now. Um, do you prefer being a passenger or a driver?
it. Driver, because I like to. I need to control the music. Yeah, I need all that. Yeah, I want to drive.
I like driving, but I really enjoy being a passenger. I enjoy it a lot.
I don't think I'm able to.
Well, it depends. If you like drive really, really fast and crazy, then no. But sometimes I want to be chauffeured.
I like to. I guess I never really get chauffeur, so I'm always driving. It seems like so. I
Mhm.
guess I just like it. But again, it's all about controlling the music for me. I'm the DJ.
Right. Doo-doo, doo-doo-doo.
And I hate for somebody in the passenger seat to ask me if they can play the music. Nah, you can't play the music. I'm driving. Go to sleep.
You like mind your business. When you
You can't
drive,
pick the
then you
music when
can
I'm
play.
driving.
But I'm the same way too. I'm like, when you drive, then you can play your music. But
Yeah,
this is what I'm playing right now. Because I'm singing the whole way. I
right.
sing the entire way wherever I'm driving. You know that. Do you prefer honesty or others' feelings? Would you tell the person, would you be honest with somebody or would you spare their feelings?
Nah, I probably spare feelings and will try to dance around the honesty to spare their feelings. And that's like a flaw, man. Like I know that's like, yeah, that one was kind of easy for me. That question was easy because I'm all about sparing feelings and I want everybody to be happy and satisfied and I need to
That's
work
not
on
right
that.
though.
Huh?
That's not reality though.
No, I
Everybody,
know, I know.
I'm the honest friend. I'm the friend who tells the truth, and a lot of my friends get upset, but I do it out of love. As I've gotten older, because sometimes people don't want to hear the truth.
Right.
So I don't say I won't spare their feelings. I just don't say anything because I want to say something, and I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. But I get what you're saying. Totally get. You want everybody to be happy, but Do you prefer card games or board games?
Probably board games.
What
But
kind?
I don't really play a lot of. I guess I don't really go to a lot of gatherings where they doing that kind of stuff, so I don't even get to do it much anymore. But
Mhm. What was your favorite board game? Monopoly.
I don't really like Monopoly as much as everybody else. I thought it was. I mean, I'll play it, but I didn't really like. I wouldn't get excited about it. Like I like to play stuff like this isn't really a board game, but like Connect Four or
You're such an engineer, man. Whatever. Look at
or
me.
what's the one where you pull the little things out? What's that one called?
Jenga.
Jenga. Yeah, Jenga. Or like charades, that kind of stuff.
See, you're trying to analyze too much. That's engineer crap. No, now I do like Jenga, but I love Monopoly. But cards, spades. I love spades. I like the talk noise, put it on my head. Yeah.
See, in spades, I'm like I know how to play, and I'll call myself good. I'm not great, but I'm good enough. I'm not gonna renege or nothing, but yeah, I got some friends who play like they're like diehard spade players. And I won't play with them because they take it way too serious. And I don't play like that.
Right,
I'm not that good to play it like that. But I'm serious about Uno now.
Oh, baby, I am the Uno queen.
You might be
And
the queen, but I'm the king.
we got to play then because me and my mama, it was like a cafe fight one day. I hadn't played with in a couple of years. I was like, well, I hadn't because of COVID. But I was like, you gotta calm down because I was spanking that butt. So yeah, I said it. I'm spanking my mama's butt. She spanked mine. My mama's finished. You prefer horror movies or comedy movies?
Comedy by far, yeah.
Yeah, I don't fool with horror
I
movies.
I can watch horror movies, but I don't know if I've seen one that I really like. I think growing up I used to like them, but like now the ones they don't even do much for me. Like, they don't scare me. They just kind of yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll take
ones
a
when we were growing up, they were for real scary. Like,
right.
yeah, I don't mess around. I know you said you don't really deal with cars, but would you prefer a BMW 745i or a Mercedes S-Class?
Yes. No, I know you. I know you asked me. I'll just say it. Yes, I'll take both of them. Probably them. I guess I say the BMW because I think that's probably more my.
That's my dream
style.
car. Ooh,
Okay.
that's my dream car. I love that car. Last but not least, as a sports writer, do you prefer a pen or a pencil?
Oh, a pen.
Pen.
I don't
So
even know the last time I used a pencil.
really? Because sometimes people mess up and they, like erase. I thought writers kind of pen.
I just scribble it out if I. I'm not gonna turn it upside down and you're right now. I ain't doing all that.
Right, got you. Well, Rod, as usual, it has been a pleasure. You will be on the show quite a bit now with us doing this Legends of the Sip. So I'm excited about that. But tell the listeners how they can follow you and also check out your articles.
On social media, I'm at Rod Walker NOLA. It's Rod Walker NOLA. As far as my work, it's on NOLA.com. If you go to NOLA.com, there's a sports tab at the top. You can scroll down and you'll see Rod Walker and all my stories are, right there together. And that's pretty much it, I guess.
Okay. And guys, you can follow me at She Say Sports on Facebook. She Say Sports 23 on Instagram, at She Say 23 on Twitter, and please subscribe to our YouTube page, She Say Sports. Well, that's my show for today. Until next time, this is Sonia with She Say Sports.